Good evening, folks. We're just allowing a moment for people to join in. Okay. I think we're good to go. Yep. Come here. Taekwondo. Raise your right hand and recite the tenets. Shijok. I shall observe the tenets of Taekwondo. I shall respect the instructor and seniors. I shall never misuse Taekwondo. I shall be a champion of freedom and justice. I shall build a more peaceful world. That was my hiccup, wasn't it? Now do the tenets. Shijok. Courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, indomitable spirit. Oh, wow. What a day. Great to see everybody here. Let's get stuck in. Start with rotating wrists. Change direction. I want to do a little bit of work tonight on how to develop power using your core. Elbows. Change direction. Welcome back, Mackay. Arms back. Welcome back, Summer. Nice to see you too. We'll get you in uniform one day. Good stuff, Jade. Getting your sister on board. And arms forward. And hands in front of you, feet are shoulder apart. Also, left ankle. Hopefully, as we discussed on Monday and Tuesday, you've been making the most of being stuck in your house, doing 10 push-ups every hour on the hour. Change direction. It's a great way to get better at push-ups pretty quickly. Every time the hour beeps, 10 push-ups. It looks a bit silly if you do that at school, but doing it at home is not a big deal. Oh, someone can let in. And change foot. Change direction. Hands on knees. And squatting right down. Try and keep your heels on the floor. Good relaxing position. And stand up. And squat down. Stand up. Down. And up. Down. And up. And circling your knee outwards, big circles. Welcome, Alison Rose. Good to see you too, Ved. We've got all the cool kids tonight. That's fantastic. Okay, Alison Rose, I'll keep an eye on you. So if you jump out and come back in, I can see you and let you back in. Okay, and inwards. Welcome, Kafis. And hips.
So Danilo said that his family forgot there was Taekwondo.
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Daniela's family forgot that there was Taekwondo on now.
So are they coming now, or have they completely forgotten?
They're busy with other stuff now.
Like change dinner. Direction. Oh, jeepers. Lockdown and people's heads are fried, eh? Okay, now to get us on our track, 10 push-ups for everybody, because push-ups are awesome. Keep your body nice and straight, head and neck straight. Take your time, nose to the floor. Couple more for good bench is always good. These push-ups are awesome. Okay, now as I said, I want to do a little bit of work on using your core to develop power. The largest muscles in your body are your abdomen and your glutes. And if you can involve your abdomen and your glutes in all of your Taekwondo movements, you generate a lot more power. We do that the same way we do with our hands and feet, with fast acceleration. But these muscles are slower. So they start a little bit earlier and then finish at the same time. So we'll start with forearm low block. It doesn't work with movements like sung pomokmaki and things because your hands are going different directions. You don't really have hip motion. But we'll start with forearm low block from here. Relax. One, my hips stay on this angle for a while. And then when I drop into my walking stance, I very suddenly explode with those hips into my stance. And then my hand catches up. So you get that explosion of movement. Your hips should be really quick, just at the end. So we relax one, backward motion, and as we're falling, explode with the hips and drop into your movement. So just try forearm low block, left and right. Take your time and focus on your power. Feel your tummy explode. Jack, it's nice to see you too. I haven't seen you for a little while. Left and right. For the purpose of this exercise, a spot technique, actually step to your left and then step to your right. You'll find that a little bit easier to generate hip power. It doesn't take a lot of movement with your hip to generate power, only about 5 or 10 centimeters, but it's very explosive. And pause for a moment. Okay, I want you to take a look at the difference between this. So again, now I can try and do that hard. So it's just my arm doing the power. There's nothing from my core. Now if I add my hips. Hopefully you see a little bit more explosiveness. And that acceleration of my hip is added to the acceleration of my arm and generates a lot more power. Go, left and right, forearm low block, generating power with your core. A little bit later, delay your hip a little bit more. At the moment, your hip's moving a little bit too early. So moving your hip early means you're not really generating any power from your hip. So delay your hip and explode with it. Your belt should swing. If I see belt swinging, I know your hip's getting a lot of power. If I see belts just moving slowly, there's no hip power. Good, Jane. Okay, come on. Cool. Now I want you to take one of your fundamental movements that allows you to generate power with your hip and try that movement as spot technique. Pick any movement from your pattern. As I say, things like sang pomak maki, they don't have this hip movement because my hands are moving in opposite directions. It's quite hard to develop in some movements like hecho maki, and actually very hard to develop in forward fist middle punch. It's really difficult to do in an obverse punch. So things like in a forearm middle block, back fist side strike, knife hand side strike, chukyamaki, choose one, do left and right. Reverse punch is quite easy to do. So choose one of your movements. U-shaped block, go. Pick a movement, do it. Feel that hip developing power. Dupo maki is a good one. Dolemio maki is good. Jerry, when you're crossing in a forearm middle block, try and bring your hands up and your elbows down. So rather than from here coming upwards, bring your hands up and your elbows down and come across with your block. So I'm protecting myself here, and I get a lot more explosiveness from my hips this way rather than coming up this way. It's a bit hard on my shoulder. Try that. Good. Feel that hip. Kelsey, question?
I feel like when I do, you're forgetting, what is this one called again?
Chukyamaki, your rising block?
Yeah. I feel like I'm doing it pretty slow. Like I don't have enough energy to like get the arm there and use enough power.
Show me and I'll see if I can help. Okay. And once more, do the other side. Okay, cool. Couple of things for you. Firstly, this is a hard movement to develop power in because your body and your hand are going in opposite directions. You've got that part going very well, where your body's going down and your hand's going up. Second thing, look at the angle of my forearm here. At the moment, you're lifting the elbow a little bit too high and your hand's down. Now, that means that if I get hit with this, my hand's going to be propped into my head, but it also means I have to extend my shoulder a bit far, which is harder to do, and that will reduce your power. The other thing is you're crossing a little bit too high. So it crosses lower than most of our blocks. Instead of crossing in front of our chest, this one crosses in front of our floating ribs down here. That gives you a little bit more momentum and you'll feel that's a bit more powerful. You're kind of crossing in the middle here at the moment, which doesn't have as much range of motion, which will be harder to develop power. So from here, relax, cross at rib cage height, floating ribs height, and then explode up and get a slight angle in your forearm here, and you might feel a bit more power that way. So try that.
Right. And is my body twisting while I'm doing the block?
Only a little bit. Now, I'm actually going to stop everybody and give everyone the same feedback here. So bear with me for a moment. Everyone, come on. I want you to stand up and hold your hands out in front of you like this. Now turn your hips to the left. And turn your hips to the right. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Hey, look at that. Your shoulders are independent of your hips. Okay, so just because your hips are doing something doesn't mean your shoulders have to. And chukyamaki is a very good example of this, because for chukyamaki, you're full facing through the movement. So I don't move my shoulders. I'm not winding up with my shoulders this way. My shoulders are angled forwards, but I can do a very small turn with my hips to get that explosiveness from hips. It's very, very subtle. My shoulders are forward. As I put my foot forward, my hips slightly forward extended, which enables me to explode this way into the movement. Okay, so your shoulders might be full facing or half facing for your intermediate position, but your hips can do a little bit more rotation to get a bit more explosiveness. Okay, so even though my shoulders are facing forwards here, my hips have got a slight angle, which enables me to drop them into my movement. Okay, so try that. Think about your hips being independent of your shoulders. It's only about 5 or 10 centimeters, that extra movement of the hip. It's very, very small, but it's enough to get that explosiveness. Go. Try a different movement now. Does that answer your question, Kelsey? Does it help? Cool. It was a valuable one for everyone. Bella, you're choosing probably the hardest one there is. It's quite difficult because one of the key principles, just listen what you're doing, hip moves the same direction as your hands. Okay, so the challenge with forward fist punch is getting your hip moving the same direction as your hand without over-exaggerating your shoulders. It's actually really difficult to do. So parallel stance punch is quite difficult to get the hip and hand moving the same direction, or walking stance punch. So start with things like your forearm low block, your inner forearm middle block, your knife hand low block. And then when your body understands that, then move on to the hard ones. Away you go. Dr. Y, just try and get a little bit more delay in that hip. At the moment, your hip's moving a little bit too early, and your hip and hand are moving at the same time. Your hip and hand need to finish at the same time, but not move at the same time. My hip moves a little bit earlier. So from here, my hip will go boom, and then my hand will go and catch up. Okay, so delay the hip, and then explode the hip and let the hand follow. So delay, 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 explode. Okay. Fire away with questions if you have them.
Sir, I've got a question.
Yes, Liam.
Is it possible to get hip movement with a knife hand downward strike?
Rotation, no. Downward strike is more of a, you feel when you come up that you're curling your body up a little bit. It's just a feeling more than an actual doing, that you're kind of curling your body up, and then you expand your body out, and then you drop down. So it's more of a drop down than it is a rotation. It's a good question.
Yes.
So I kind of bundle myself up, extend out, and then boom, drop down onto the movement. Good question.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
And come on. Okay, 10 push-ups, because push-ups are awesome. If you're like me and have trouble counting to 10, just do 12 or something, because push-ups are cool. Okay, now, for the next 5 minutes, I want you to perform your own pattern. Remember, if you're in a confined space, as many of us are, don't shortcut your movements. Do full, complete stances, then adjust your position before you do the next movement. What I particularly want you to do here is slow the pattern down a little bit and think about how you generate power in every movement in your pattern, okay? So think about, how can I use my core to develop power? Liam's question was a good one, because his movement doesn't generate power rotationally, it generates power vertically. This way, my hips come down, up, down, which is what we do with sine wave. So with sine wave, we're doing the hip motion, the core, down, up, down. And what I'm encouraging you today is add a little bit of rotation together with that sine wave. Down, up, explode. Go. Your own pattern. If you have any questions, unmute and ask, or wake them in chat. But slow it down. Try and get hip power, body power into every movement. By the end of this, going nice and slowly, you should be really hot and sweaty from putting all the effort in. So don't rush. Kelsey, just watch with that straight fingertip thrust that you finish your full facing position. Okay, you've got to, it's very common to see this, which is kind of a throw from Dosan movement 7. So movement 6 in Dosan is here, then movement 7. Okay, in Wonyo, you only have the straight fingertip thrust, nice and straight. Then pivot into the next movement. Jerry looking really good. Remember, that's eye level, Mackay. The double forearm block is eye level. Up, yeah, there we go. And 2 hands for this movement. 1. So for that forearm inward block, make sure you're extending the other hand and then pulling it back to your hip. It's quite common from here for people just to use one hand here. So from here, make sure you're extending, boom, two hands. Holden, the challenge for that, I saw you were having a little bit of trouble with that backward set turn, trying to get some hip in. Don't try and add the hip too early. So what movement were you up to? Can you just show me where you were? Okay, sorry, yeah, movement 2. When you go into movement 3, come around here to 45 degrees and then use your hip from here. Don't try to use your hip from here because it's too big a movement and you'll throw yourself off balance. Come around to 45 degrees and then here, boom, into the next movement there. Cool. Bella, how are you going with 4-direction punch and 4-direction block? You too, David? Show me 4-direction punch and 4-direction block. So Bella, remember your one from here, my right side first, punch, turn, low block. Punch, turn, low block. Punch, turn, low block. Punch. Then the other side. Punch, turn, low block. Punch, turn, low block. Okay, it's 4-direction punch, both sides. So Isabel, after your X-fist pressing block, which was really good, don't lose your opportunity for hip power here. 1, 2, boom, 3. Explode their hip. So from here, you kind of just went here with your hip and your hands at the same time. From here, 1, 2, boom, explode. Okay? Good opportunity for hip power there.
Must be a question.
Yes.
All right. From the last 2 movements of Wonyo, how big is like the space from here to there? Because sometimes I open it too much and then
Got it. Good question. Now, it's not so much about opening your hands there. Hands start in front of my chest. When I reach back, it's reaching back that's important here. Close ones in front of my badge with my palm towards me. My other hands reach back at eye level here. And then from here, they explode into the movement. Hands in front of chest, pull back, in front of my badge, eye level and reach back, and then explode forward. Does that answer your question?
Yep. Thank
Cool.
you.
Make sure you're doing Dosan as well because you've got 2 patterns to learn.
Sir, we don't really know our pattern yet.
Okay, how much have you got?
We've got the start.
And a bit of the end.
And you've waited until now to ask me when we've had 5 minutes still in this, guys. Come on. Okay, I'll do it with you. Watch, watch, watch. So remember your ready position is closed, ready stance B. So feet together, right fist, left hand on top of the fist. From here, step left. You've got this, right? Reverse knife hand, fingertip height. Side front snap kick, step 1 shoulder width, palm upward block and rear foot stance. Then rotate around and do the same thing on the other side. Reverse knife hand, middle block. Side front snap kick, step 1 shoulder width. Palm upward block and rear foot stance. Now I'm going to move that left foot towards the front with a knife hand guarding block. Then I'm going to shift my front foot into walking stance and do an upper elbow strike with my right elbow. This in walking stances is always opposite hand to foot. Step forward, knife hand guarding block, and upper elbow strike. Then from here, step forward, twin fist vertical punch, and step forward again, twin fist upset punch. Okay, go through those. You can work through that. Ah, nice. You're okay from there. Good. And come on. Grab a mouthful of water. Do 10 push-ups because push-ups are awesome. Like that. And Mr. Rest, you ready? Oh, sorry, Zach, I just got your question. Okay, you'll know what we're about to do though. So next up, we have a very special thing for us. Mr. West is going to challenge your brain. So face Mr. West. Sit up. Kill it. Okay, all yours, sir.
I think so. So for those of you who've done Boost Squad, you'll probably be fairly familiar with this. For those of you who haven't, then you probably won't know, but just try your best to follow along. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and do our patterns mirrored. It's just a good way to help cement and consolidate your pattern, especially a new pattern in your mind. Because if you can do it the normal way and you can do it back reverse as such, mirrored, then you know you've learned the pattern well. Especially with patterns that have new movements that you only do on one side, like straight fingertip thrust. It just allows you to get the movement done on both sides, which is helpful in later patterns. So yeah, we're just going to be doing our own patterns reversed. So for Chonji, it normally does knife hand forearm low guarding block to the left. So instead of doing it to the left, you'll do it to the right, and just continue to do the pattern through, so that if it was in the mirror, you'd see it as being correct. Yeah, your own patterns.
Okay, so away you go, guys. Try your own pattern as if you were the mirror image. So instead of stepping left first, you step right, or vice versa. You'll do the whole thing mirrored. Good, Bella and David. That's it. Just make the stances a little longer. Keep the width of your stance. Keep going. Don't stop. You're doing well. Just make your stances a little bit longer and wider. Looking good. Challenging, Nate and Jess, when you've just learned your pattern. Okay, one more minute. And just finish up what you're doing and grab a mouthful of water. Other hand there, Rose. That's it. Yeah. Good work. And come on, face Mr. West. Thank you, Mr. West. That's actually really awesome for many reasons. Kill me. Awesome. I've just got to find me and change the spotlight. Where am I? There we go.
That was definitely something hard that I have never tried before.
Yeah, it is good and challenging for your brain. That's awesome. Jade, a question from you. Video of done good. Yeah, get the words out. Yes, there is. I will show you where to find it. Give me just one moment. In fact, everyone, you should know where to find these, but just in case you don't, for your benefit as well, on our website, glendowie.com, under members, you've got syllabus sheets and resources. For a video of Dungun, syllabus videos for 8th Gup Yellow Belt. And then in this post, if you scroll down, here are some videos of Dungun. There's 2 there from Master Rimmer from Tauranga. So that's a really good place to find the videos for your pattern. Okay, so that's got the videos for patterns right up to Parang. Right up to Te Gay. I don't think we've got as far as Parang. Okay, now, just a little bit of a quick challenge for us. Do some variations in those push-ups. I want you to start with your hands shoulder width apart like this. And just do 5 push-ups. Go. Hands under your shoulders. We're going to do a shortened form of this exercise. The next one, with your hands from your shoulders, I want you to bring your hands together so they're touching, and then do 5 push-ups. There's a little bit more triceps. Nice, good work. Okay, now the next one, from hands under the shoulders, you're going to go out a bit, kind of as wide as you can, and turn your hands sideways like this. And then try 5 push-ups from there. Excellent. Good. Okay, the next one, from your hands underneath your shoulders, you're going to extend forward so the bottom of your hands line up with your head. This way. So extending forward here, and then do 5 push-ups. Might find that one a little harder. It's a great push-up. Okay, next one. From here, we're actually going to put our hands down by our belt and turn them the other way. So our fingertips are pointing towards our toes. And try 5 push-ups from there. It's this way. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Okay, one more cool one. This time I'm going to put my hands in front of me, put my elbows on the ground, about the height of my head, and then just come up onto my hands. Aren't they awesome? That's a warm up to the lanes where you lie down on the ground and then just lift yourself up from there. And just to finish up that little exercise, let's just do 10 normal push-ups. There you go. Get a good range of motion. Don't rush. Push-ups are such a good exercise for so many different parts of your body, so it's really worthwhile working on them. Okay, now, last exercise we're going to do before we warm down. We're going to all do some work on 7th gut 3-set sparring, one way, right? So in 7th gut 3-set sparring one way, you're counter-attacking with your feet. Generally, the attacks are done in L stance, not a walking stance. So the ready position is the same. Those of you who are above yellow, green stripe, you'll know this as we practice. We're doing it alone, of course, we're doing a partner. From here, if you have got a partner, feel free to do it with your partner. From your parallel ready stance, if you've got space, of course, right leg back into walking stance for a low block. Ha! Go. Now when we step forward with our right foot, we're going to step into an L stance side punch. Hana. Remember you're half facing, and L stance is always half facing. Two. Set. And step back, bottle. Nice, pretty straightforward. Now for our counter attack there, we're going to step back into L stance and do an inner forearm middle block, just like Chonji. So right leg steps back. Hana. Two. I'm going to try and get that hip involved. Set. And then use the front leg and do a side front snap kick. Boom. Finish with a guarding block. And then return to your parallel stance. So that's number one. Nice and easy. Let's do number one again. Forearm low block. Go. This is a walking stance, remember? Your ready position for 3-set sparring is always in walking stance for attack. Punching, now we're in L. Two. Set. Muddle, step back. Toe. In a forearm middle block, step back with the right foot into L stance. You attacked in L stance, so you defend in L stance. Two. Set. And then using your front leg, side front snap kick, and finish it with a guarding block. And then come back. Remember, your side front snap kick is just like a front snap kick, except it's done to the side. Okay, you're half facing or side facing at the moment of impact. Okay, number 2. Same ready position. This is always a ready position for attack. Right leg back, forearm level. We're going to do the side punch again. Two. Set. Step back, bottle. Now to defend, we're going to do L stance, knife hand, guarding block. Right leg back. 1, 2, 3. So we block that punch. Now from here, we're going to step off to the side and kick with dolochagi. So my front foot's going to step over to the side a little bit, and my back foot, counter attack with dolochagi. Then come back into my guarding block. When I return to my ready position, I've got to put my front foot back where it was before I stepped away, and then come back to my ready position. Okay, so there's 2 steps involved in there. And again. L stance punch. 2. Set. And step back. 2. Right leg back, knife hand guarding block. 2. Set. Step the left leg out to the side. Dolochagi with the right leg. And then forearm guarding block. Then return your feet to where left foot to where it was and step up. Bottle. That's number 2. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I just put your crook. Back to number 2 again. Number 2 is the yacht charging. My mistake. Same attack. Same attack. I'm mixing things up. Ready. Okay. Walking stance, forearm low block. This is number 2. I'll get it right this time. Middle L stance, side punch. 2. Set. And step back. 2. Step back, knife hand guarding block. 1, 2, 3. Now your front leg, lift up and do yok charging. 4. Then return to parallel stance. That's more like it. Let's do number 2 again correctly. Ready. L stance, side punch. 1, 2, 3. And step back, bottle. Right leg back, knife hand guarding block. 1, 2, 3. And front leg side kick. And return. Bottle. Oh, that feels better. Okay, now number 3. Number 3, we're going to attack with knife hand side strike. So right leg back. Beat. Now stepping forward with your right foot for the knife hand side strike. Feel that hip. 1, 2, 3, and bottle. Now imagine that strike is coming into the right side of my neck, that knife hand side strike. So from here, I'm going to do a forearm inward block this way. I extend my right hand out, lift my left hand up, pull my right hand back to my hip, and swing my left hand in to block that knife hand. Okay, so from here, right leg back, 2, set. Now we'll step off into the turn again. And return your feet to where they were. That feels better. Let's do number 3 again. Knife hand side strike. 1, 2, 3. Bottle. Step your right leg back. 2, set. Counter attack. And return your feet to where they were. So number 1, remember, punch, punch, punch. And a forearm middle block, 1, 2, 3, side front snap kick. Number 2 was punch, punch, punch. The defense, knife hand guarding block, side piercing kick. And number 3 was knife hand side strike, 1, 2, 3, defend, forearm inward block, 1, 2, 3, step off, dollar time. Okay, so let's go. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 together. I'm not going to count. You're just going to stay in time with me. Ready? Once more through in your own time, go. Remember that ready position is always in walking stance, even if the attack is in L stance. Then tidy up those guarding blocks. It's his strongest stances. Colin looking great. Mackay, just watch the width of your L stance. I might have just caught you on a funny angle. I'll just have a look this time. Just make sure your front toe and your back heel line up, which leaves 2.5 centimeters between your heels. I'll watch now when you're coming straight to the camera. Use that hip, Isabel. We've got to work on the power from the hip. Explode.
If you put that I will.
Good, Mackay. Yep. Just watch the angle of that front foot. It's only 15 degrees, which is a tiny bit. Particularly giving feet a triangular, not rectangular. Good. Yep. Sorry, it was just the angle. That one's a bit wide. Okay, that second one was a little bit wide. Go, Alison Rose. I'm waiting to give you some feedback. Walking stance there. Remember your low block's always in walking stance.
Do we just repeat the 3
Yes, just
steps?
repeat. Yeah. Walking stance for the forearm low block in the ready position, and then attack and L stance for yellow stripe, green stripe rather. Dr. Y, you're a little bit high with that forearm inward block. It's a middle strike, so you should be shoulder height with the fingertips, with the knuckles rather. Yeah, that's it. There. Thinking actually about the heights. And just finish up the one that you're on. So Isabel, we need to explode from that core for the kicks as well. We really got to explode. You need more hip, Isabel. Delay that hip and explode it into your knife hand side strikes. It's a really good one to get hip power into. So don't lose the opportunity. You too, Liam. Use that hip, explode the hip. That's better. And come on, grab a mouthful of water. Okay, I'm just going to give you a little tip. We're not going to do this. We're just going to stretch off. But Alice and Rose, Jess and Nate, Ved, I want you to take particular note of this. Jerry, it will help you too. Kelsey, Yop Chagi, do some exercise at home, and particularly now we're during lockdown in between our push-ups, where we get our leg up and just out and back. Don't worry about height, but just get that trajectory, lifting the knee in the intermediate position, very importantly. Turning the supporting foot, just out and back. We've got to get the motion of that Yop Chagi, okay? Do that each leg, maybe 20 times. Notice that I'm keeping my shoulders open. I'm not dropping my shoulder like this. I've got to keep my shoulder open and my knee and foot high here. Just out and back. Watch that foot position. Make sure I'm pulling my foot back and kicking with my foot sword. And just maybe 20 of those each leg. When you get up in the morning, hands on the wall or the foot of the bed or a chair, turn that supporting foot, and then just pop your Yop Chagi up. And then work on lifting with your legs to get the height. Another thing you can do here from that straight leg, as we've done before, is just little dips with that leg this way. It really burns in here, and it's good to develop those muscles. Caprice, that'll be good for you as well. Okay, 10 push-ups before we stretch. Push-ups are awesome. And then sitting down, left leg out, right leg at the top. Stretching that lower back. And change sides. Sorry, guys, we're 6 till 7 during lockdown. Welcome. The recorded class will be up on the website soon. Just stretching off. So keep thinking about how you apply your power from your body in your Taekwondo movements. Sine wave is a part of it. The explosiveness from your hip is another part of it. So a few of us, particularly you younger guys, you're having trouble generating power from your hips and your shapes look lovely. And now we've got to add the power to it. Get that coordination of your hand and hip to generate the power. As it's a big thing to work on. And both legs out. Make sure after class, stretch up and down. Make sure you're writing notes in your training notebook, feedback you've gotten, the areas you need to work on, the tips that you picked up. Jot them all down straight after class. Have a flick through the other notes you've made over the last few weeks. Also take a look at your goals. Make sure you've got that firm goal for the term and a firm goal for the year, and break it down into the things you need to achieve in order to be able to achieve that goal. Be they fundamental movements, patterns, a kick you're having trouble with, whatever it may be.
Hey.
Toby, stop playing with the camera and get your stretching done.
So that was my sister playing with the camera. I was adjusting.
Okay. Just do your stretching. And heels in. Breathe in. And out, pulling the knees down, pushing down with your forearms. Just while we're stretching, guys, and breathing deeply, remember that lockdown is hard on everyone. It's hard on your mums and dads and stuff as well. So try and do your best to help out a little bit around the house. Okay, whether that's help preparing dinner or doing some vacuuming or folding some laundry. If you need help during your schoolwork, by all means ask for help. But do make sure you are focusing in your schoolwork during school time and getting those things done. Okay, not procrastinating, wasting time. Get onto the things you have to do. Tiffany, stop playing with the software and get into your stretching. Come on, Tiffany. Okay, turn sideways, lie on your back, legs in the air, grab your bottoms of your dobot pants and open your legs up. Push your heels away from you, pull your toes back towards you to keep your legs straight, and then just let your legs hang open. You put a little bit of weight on your trouser legs, that'll pull your legs open a little bit, just with a gentle bit of weight. Breathe deeply, just let you feel the muscles that are stretching and will them into relaxing. Nice, Nina. And slowly use your hands to close your legs up. And roll forward to sit up. Now for the next stretch, if you've got a soft floor or a cushion, you can do a variation from those that don't. If you don't have a soft floor or a cushion, Lunging forward with one leg, back heel off the ground, reaching up to the sky with the front, with the backhand, and then lunge yourself forward. If you have got a soft floor or a cushion, you can kneel down on the floor to do this. And relax the muscles. You feel a nice stretch in that back leg and the Oz. Try and keep your torso upright, put your hand on your hip rather than leaning forward on your thigh, which reduces the stretch. Try and keep yourself up. Now from here, if you're standing up, then do your quadriceps stretch. If you're kneeling on the ground, you can reach back and grab your foot, grab your ankle to stretch your quadriceps. Jerry, is that a question or are you stretching? Thumbs up for stretching. Stretching, okay. Cool. Okay, and change sides. First, it is os. Just don't try and do this directly on a hard floor. It's really bad on your knees. The standing version. Okay, reach back and grab your ankle or stand up and do your quadriceps stretch. And relax. Another couple of little stretches to finish off because we've done a bit of chest work. So just kneeling down, bring one hand out in front of you, pull it across in front of your chest, and then use your other arm just to gently pull it towards your chest. Stretch through the shoulder and the triceps. And other side. Lift your arm up so it's kind of horizontal. Now take that other arm straight up to the sky and then bring it down like you're scratching your back. And then use your other hand to pull your elbow down. So you're sliding that hand down towards your back. Try and keep your head as upright as you can. And relax. Other hand up to the sky. Bend it down to scratch your back. Free hand comes over to the elbow. Nudge it down back. Relax. Last one. Lie on your stomach. One hand straight out to the side. Turn your head the opposite direction and then just roll towards that straight arm. You can do this one as well with your arm bent and feel a stretch up through your chest. And the other side, extend the other hand out straight across and then roll over towards it. And relax. Slowly standing up. And turn to the left entirely up. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed class tonight. I'll look forward to seeing you either at 11 o'clock on Saturday for our Saturday morning class, or on Monday at 5 if you want to do the kids class, or Tuesday at 6, or all of the above. Sit up. Kill me. Take one. Hassan, good work, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Mr. West, for your stuff tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And Tiffany tried to insult you. Just joking.